In the world of massively multiplayer online role-playing games, EverQuest was king. It's not anymore, now it's World of Warcraft. But that hasn't prevented Sony Online Entertainment from trying to overtake them once more. EverQuest Next is built on a couple premises. First off, they want to toss out the idea of Dungeons and Dragons. So they don't really have set classes. Instead, you sort of build your character the way you want to build it. You also have the idea of a life of consequence. That means what you do can have some sort of change in the world, some permanent change. The idea of having permanent change in an MMO is risky because it means that perhaps as a player, I can go in and change things in a way that no other player will be able to change it in the future. So that means when other players come in later on, they're not going to have that same experience. So that's taking away from some players and giving to others. And that's something I think that maybe people are going to really like. In presenting the game EverQuest Next, they went through a bunch of sort of bullet points, their grails as they called them. And then once they were done, they said that there was one more thing they wanted to show us. That one more thing was in fact an entirely new game. And that game's called EverQuest Next Landmark.
What we wanted to do was just release the tools for EverQuest Next ahead of time, like have a beta release of the tools and stuff. But the more we talked about it, the more we realized that what could be extraordinarily cool is if we allowed people to create on persistent worlds with all the tools that were at our disposal, and also have the chat and guild functionalities that you expect from a social MMO, as well as having exploration elements and collection elements. It just started feeling more and more like a real game. By doing this, what we're going to do is allow them to help us build elements of EverQuest Next at the same time we're building them. And when they build something that's really cool, we can actually bring it across to EverQuest Next and make it part of Norath in a permanent fashion.
When we first saw the game, what we saw was something being created that looked a lot like Minecraft. They were blocks stacked on top of each other. But then they went back and they started using tools. They have bevel tools, they have shaping tools, they have sanding and blurring tools. And all these things sort of warped this sort of blocky construction into something that looked very natural, very realistic, and frankly really hard to do, something I could never do. That means you're going to need to have a lot more ability. It also means you're going to have a little talent and be a bit of an artist if you really want to create something that looks as good as EverQuest.
So we expect that people can do something like build a really cool kitted out tower and then sell it on the Player Studio marketplace, and then somebody else can take that tower and build a castle out of that, and then they share royalty proceeds through a really elegant little system that allows everybody to win. So if you make something that's really cool, well, you can make a lot of money off of it.
Sony Online Entertainment is going to be looking at these creations. They're going to actually be having contests for some of these creations. And if they find things that they really like, they may take that and actually put it into EverQuest Next. And they're not just going to put it in there and give you credit for it, they're going to actually give you money for it. This means that in theory, if things really worked out, you could be a professional builder for EverQuest Next by using EverQuest Next Landmark.
We can do things like, you know, say, hey, we're working on an Ixar temple right now, and we want it to be like this. Here's the concept drawings and stuff like that. Now you guys knock yourself out and come up with something better. And then whoever does, the thumbs up and thumbs down from the players, and then we glean off whatever's best, and we give them the opportunity to have it in the game.
I love the idea of what Sony Online Entertainment is doing here. I love that not only are they willing to throw a lot out the window when it comes to classic MMO sort of archetypes and structure and mechanics, but also the idea that they're looking at what's popular out there, Minecraft in particular, and they're saying, let's do something with that. I think it's a great idea. What I also think, though, is that there's really a lot of challenges for them to overcome for this to be popular. The reality is they want to create something that's going to make their game more expansive and more welcoming to people who don't play EverQuest, but I think they have a really good chance of creating a niche for a niche. They're trying to broaden their market, but what they're really going to do is really narrowly focus it. Ultimately, the success or failure of EverQuest Next Landmark is going to be in its tool set, because that's what people really like about Minecraft. Anybody can do it, anybody can create something cool in just a few minutes. I'm not sure that's going to happen with EverQuest Next Landmark, but we'll find out as soon as it comes out.